Hello Cleveland, I'm Errol Porter and welcome to another episode of Make It in Cleveland. Today we're excited, we're on the road and we found a gem of a restaurant right here on Larchmere in our great city, and they brought a little Brazil right here to Cleveland. I have Chef Carla here, who's the proud owner of this beautiful establishment. How's it going?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, hello. Well, this one we didn't get you up too early, so you know we got.
Okay.
Have you started cooking yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Now tell us, this is a beautiful place, and we watched. Of course, this used to be someone's residence at one point that got turned into a restaurant. That's pretty cool. How'd you get the idea for this place? It's Batiqui.
Well, you know, Batiqui was a dream for us for a little long time. And when we found the opportunity to be in this house, actually was a restaurant here before. There was a French restaurant back in the day. And when we found this opportunity here, you know, have the feeling to cook inside a house and, you know, to just cook a small portion of food, I really love this idea. I really love the idea too.
And being in a real kitchen instead of a, you know, industrial restaurant kitchen, you feel like you're at home doing your thing, right?
Yeah, I feel home. I feel, you know, small, you know, like cooking. I mean, prepare a small portion of food for me. It just gives me some very different feeling with the experience of cooking.
Well, take me back home. So tell me where you're from and how did you get inspired to start cooking?
Okay, well, I am actually from Brazil. I'm from Bahia. I'm from the north of Brazil. And I grew up in a little farm with my mom, my grandma. I have the most experience in cooking with my grandma. We used to garden and we used to pretty much get everything from our backyard, you know, as vegetables, fruits, chicken, pork, cows, so everything was provided there. So I grew up on the industry of, you know, being cooking, non-professional, but I'm very thankful for everything I learned from my mom and my grandmother back home and bring the flavor we have home here in Cleveland.
Now, do you still go in the backyard to get all that stuff you need to cook?
Actually, I don't have the chicken and the cows and all that, of course. But in the summertime over here in the back, I do grow my own little garden. You know, my little cilantro, garlic, you know, garlic leaves, cherry tomatoes, parsley. You know, little things I can use here at the bar, like a basil. I really love to be connected with the, you know, the garden and the soil, you know, there.
And do you have any formal schooling for cooking, or you just learn all that?
No, never been to school to cooking. I think I went to the best university. It was my grandmother and my mom's home. You know, of course, I go back to Brazil here and there, and I do some classes because we have to kind of like update ourselves all the time. But like the flavor I have here is the flavor I learned at home, you know. And of course, some of the dishes in my part of Brazil, from the north. Gustavo, he from the south of Brazil, so they do have a different all the taste, different all the way to prepare the, you know, Brazilian recipes, because Brazil is so big. With, you know, every state in Brazil have their own culinary. I mean, I think besides São Paulo is a big state. And São Paulo has a lot of immigrants. So São Paulo has a little bit of everything, Arabic, you know, Italian, like all this. But the other state in Brazil, they are pretty much unique in culinary. So on menu, you see a lot of this. You see a lot of the North, the African, you know, the coconut milk, the palm oil from Bahia and in Gustavo, you know, states. So you get like all the meats, you know, some of those heavy things.
Now you talked about your husband and his style of cooking. Do you all combine any of those dishes to come up with something special?
Oh, we do. We put this menu together, me and him. Is more focused on the two states of Bahia and Minas. yeah, you can see, like the chicken stroganoff is coming from his family recipes. Little things, a lot of the special you put in, like a chicken okra. His state, he eat a lot of okra. They make okra different ways. So, between me and him, we put this menu together. And of course, like every weekend we have a special at the restaurant. So we kind of like playing around for all the different recipes in a different state of Brazil. So it's very interesting, and because when we first thinking about this menu, we were so scared. It was like, oh my goodness, I wish to work for Sergio Abramoff. We should work for very big, amazing talent chef here in University Square, right there. And I was like, oh, I don't want to disappoint him, and like how I can move for his legacy in Cleveland with flavor, with representing the Brazilian way, because I believe back in the day, you can just play around with people. I believe it, like, oh, this is Brazilian food, this is Mexican food, this and that. But in the end of the day, now in these days now, we're able to travel, we're able to try real food, the real way to prepare. I was kind of scared for a minute until we actually froze open and people start, trying. I remember seeing a situation of xin is a chicken stew we have on the menu. It's beautiful.
Now, what is usually someone that coming here experiencing Brazilian flavor? What are their how do you see the look in their eyes? How do they when they start tasting that food?
Oh,
what do you see?
It's phenomenal. I mean, one of the best one in the menu is the seafood stew. I mean, seeing people, the seafood stew, seeing the guests trying, and the way they react. Oh my God, I heard that a lot, and this is very little emotional for me, because that specific dish I learned how to make with my grandmother at home, and I was pretty young at that point. I was like 13, and growing onions in the backyard. I remember it was this big, and I have to peel there and cry, but I was so happy to be able to grow up with that process, because seeing like last report last year, we served almost 40,000 people.
Wow.
So we see, like
That's beautiful.
a lot of those people just try the seafood stew as, like as a recipe. She actually passed it out for us. Is something unbelievable.
All you need is a big sign outside that says seafood stew right here.
Stew, right?
Bring it on in. Now, one thing I noticed about your menu is a very, very extensive wine selection.
Yeah.
So a lot of wine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what inspired that to bring such an extensive wine selection here.
Well, once we have, a lot of people just come here. They, the weather. We live in Cleveland. We have the whole, combine between Brazilian food with not only drink with beer like in Brazil, because Brazil we very big on that. So our food is caipirinhas drink because it's so tropical. So we make a lot of drinks in Brazil. We drink a lot of beers in Brazil.
Right.
With the weather in Cleveland, and actually it was something we did with the Heidelberg company. They were very nice and kind to be patient with me and pair all the wines we have, the white and red, with the Brazilian food. Like sometimes like, oh my God, this is easy to do. It was not easy, because we have coconut milk and we have palm oil and they have the sea salt, and some of the other dishes we have a lot of smoky meat on it. And like I'm very confident with everything we pick there. People really enjoy.
Right.
So, but we do have a lot of good wines in the menu.
And one thing I noticed when I come in here, it just feels homey and beautiful decorations, and I want to get a chance to see the rest of the place. Can you take me on a small tour?
Please,
Alrighty.
please.
Cool.
Let's go in.
Now, I've never been to Brazil, but I'm sure you all will take me one day.
Yes.
But while we're here, I'm looking at the decorations and how you put this place together. When people walk in, I guess they're going to feel like they're on vacation. Is this what they would get? A place like this if they were in Brazil?
That's correct. You know, and I think that's, you know, why Batiqui is over here too. For those people didn't have a chance to go into Brazil, come to Batiqui, so you'll be in Brazil for a little bit. You know, like in a decoration, with the drinks, with the food. Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think you've outgrown the place. You said you served over 40,000 people last year. That means the place must be getting a bit small. So you're going to be moving soon.
Yes, you know, I'm gonna miss this little house, but we need a little bigger space to continue our journey here. And I'm gonna take you guys down there so you see what we're doing, and you know, and I will talk a little bit more, and you know, thank you a little bit of the city of Cleveland to some of the help they're giving us. We really appreciate, and you know, be able to be up in a bigger place and creating more jobs. This is our goal to, you know, to get back to the city.
All right, let's get over to the new place and check out how the Cleveland's Economic Development Department has helped Carla and Gustavo get a bigger place.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, just a short walk from the old place. We've entered to the new building, and I'm making Carla suffer because I'm sure this weather is nothing like the home of Brazil, is it? Beautiful. So let's talk about the new place. Let's go in here, and I want to hear more about how it is to be even located on this beautiful strip here, Larchmere.
For sure, for sure. Welcome to our new location.
Yeah, let's get you into out of this cold. We are right now in the midst of hustle and bustle here, a lot of work going on. This is the kitchen area that's getting prepared.
Yep.
And one thing about this kitchen is going to be a lot different. Over there you had 2 line cooks. Tell us about this expansion.
Yeah, over here, this factory is gonna give me another 6 line cooks and 2 other prep. So we're actually creating a lot of, you know, like a lot of jobs over here in this kitchen. We're doing, you know, this kitchen a lot of more catering, have more space. We're gonna have a walk-in cooler, as we're gonna be able to just do more business, not only inside business, but like outside business too.
Are you keeping the mirror?
Yeah, I'm keeping the mirror. Yes, I'm keeping the mirror. I am keeping a lot of the pieces of, you know, was actually original from the church. So we're just trying to reuse everything we can, you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yes.
Let's get to the next spot.
Okay.
Follow you. Now, one thing that's going to be unique about this place are 2 floors of dining. So we're down here in the basement portion where you also be able to eat. Tell us about this spot.
Yeah, over here we actually planning to seat around 65 people. The unique thing for me is for the Brazilian communities, I put up the Brazilian community on that. They actually asking me for a little place they can buy the Brazilian product to already sell, you know, already use at the restaurant.
I understand they have to travel pretty far to get Brazilian
2 hours and a half, yeah. Columbus and all that. I don't want to take business for nobody. I just want to have something here so people can be a little convenient there. So we're going to have a little Batiqui little market down here. Another cool thing at the hospital is asking me for a little private room with a bar and a TV. So we're going to have a small little bar over here. We have 2 bathrooms over here. What else over here, Carla?
This is cool.
Oh, it's gonna be super cool.
One thing I want to talk to you about, being in business with your husband. Let's talk about how you balance being in business and family life.
Oh, well, I put him to work 19 hours a day. And I work 14 hours a day, so we have a little break between. I'm just joking. It's actually a lot of people asking me about that. is we actually works very well together. Especially we have two, like when you have two locations, we always in a different locations all the time. So what I ask, we will agree is by the time we get home, we don't talk about business. We'll cook home, we'll watch a TV, like we try to separate a little bit of life to the business life, but it works out good.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta take time to enjoy the good life here at Batiqui. And while I'm doing that, we're gonna have a small conversation with Will from Cleveland's Economic Development Department. And right now I'm here with Will Asbury, who's a neighborhood investment manager for the city of Cleveland, working closely in the Cleveland's Economic Development Department. Tell us about this exciting project.
So Batiqui is one of the projects that have used city resources. In their cases, they're doing an expansion. So we were previously at the smaller place. They're moving into a larger place to have more capacity and to have a more beautiful aesthetic for their restaurant. And they were able to get a loan from the city of Cleveland that helped finance and fund this project. So the city of Cleveland is extremely proud of the work that Batiqui has been able to do, and excited for the opportunity to help beautify this neighborhood and continue to help the city grow.
Well, sometimes getting in a business for yourself is kind of intimidating. And tell us about the process a little bit. Like, why shouldn't people be intimidated to call you guys for help?
Well, so the city of Cleveland takes on projects from all sorts of businesses. So that's established businesses that have years of experience, but we also help startups that are looking to get off the ground and need a little assistance. In the case of startups where they need a little bit more assistance, we have community partners that help them with things like coming up with a business plan, coming up with a preliminary budget, and some of the technical assistance that a new company would need. So we do lean on community partners in addition to resources within the city to give a business a well-rounded support system, especially when they're trying to get off the ground and get going.
That is awesome, man. So I can't wait to see how Carla's vision is coming to fruition here inside the new Batiqui. We're going to take a look at the whole place right now. Let's go for another tour.
I really believe in this project. I believe in this church. I have a feeling and vision here. And I know the city of Cleveland too, something very personal, has so many churches, is abandoned right now. Can actually look for people like us, have a vision to put something in and redo it, just don't turn it out and put new buildings in. I want to say thank you, on my end, and my daughter and Gustavo, to the help you guys was able to provide for us. Sometimes people say, "Oh my God, it was not a lot," but look, a little bit can help a lot.
Absolutely.
Thank you for help with this project. Thank you for helping the streets of Larchmere. We really appreciate. Actually, I wish to live in Rocky River. I moved to Larchmere for about 2 years ago.
Right.
So I see a lot of progress over here. And I think the city is doing a very good job for our neighborhoods.
Let's talk about some of those obstacles that you had to go through over the years. What was the toughest part of staying in business?
Well, the very tough part for me was the pandemic. As we coming from a 900 square feet and has to do the whole social distance back in the day was something very challenging to me. But we able to be very creative and having the follows and the people loves us. I remember at one point in the pandemic, people all the way down from California was buying food to donate for the whole family over here to be able to help us.
Wow.
So we can actually continue in business. The caring, the everything we did up, like in the back of the pandemic actually saved us to be here right now. I remember flying a lot of states to be able to cook private, to to
Just
come
to sustain, right?
for just to stay. And when the pandemic was gone, I was like, oh my God, thank you God, we're still here. Because at this point, we have a lease in Chagrin Falls, as was really tough, but we're glad everything worked out, and we continue doing this project, and I'm looking for doing another one. I know it can sound crazy, like this crazy girl needs some financial help for this project, but I'm already looking for something in the future.
I think you have all the luck in the world being in the church.
Yes, thank you. It's a special place for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know what? Tell people out there, if they're even thinking about opening up a restaurant or going into business, what advice do you have for them?
Well, the advice I have for any business, but my experience is in the restaurant business as I am in for 19 years. You have to love. You have to be a chef. You have to be able to be a dishwasher, like I did. It was my first job, a bus girl, prep. So we have to be able to learn everything, don't counting other people.
Right.
So as long you have that and you have the passion to be in a restaurant, I think I encourage everybody to open one. Like I even talked to some of my employees. They actually saying, "Oh, Carla, one day I'm gonna be like you." Right. So for me is something very pretty. And this is my advice for them. You just have to make sure you really love it, you really know what you do, because you see so many places open and close all the time too. So it makes me sad when I see on Cine magazine this restaurant close, but I get me very happy when I see all this new restaurant is coming in. So it's a lot of other beautiful restaurants in town, and I think Cleveland is such a pretty city, as always all the countries can come in and all the concept can come in. Is this is my advice for them.
Hey, thank you all. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to Cleveland's Economic Development Department and also the crew at TV20. And remember, you too can make it in Cleveland. It's time for some seafood stew. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.